Hey everyone, welcome to another episode from Pro Engineering. This is going to be a worthless episode because I want to take a look at this car and review it, but I'm already in love with it. Look at it. I love these little Suzuki Jimnys. You know, maybe not. Maybe this is not going to be a worthless video because it looks great, but it could be terrible. So I don't know. It may be deceiving. Let's open it up. And wow, look how clean that looks. Good, it steers. I'm glad to see that. So this is, I don't know, deeply, oh, this is open. Okay. The box looks exceptionally small. I don't know if there's a radio in it. Oh, what is this? Car or... Do I have to put a radio in it? Oh, please don't tell me it's cell phone controlled. I swear this was like a normal radio. Oh my goodness, but look at the body. It's really good. Boy, it's good. Good suspension. Tires feel great. Oh, it's on. What does that mean? How does it work? I don't know how it works. A little bit of detailing, and this thing can be fantastic. Boy, it's nice. Okay, stop that. Stop that. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Ooh. It's licensed. That's cool. Oh, dear. Oh. Crap, it is on the phone, isn't it? So it needs an app. The charger, I think, is brilliant. Goes straight into the exhaust pipe. I mean, come on, how cool is that? That is a level of detail that most would never do. Like, I'm surprised it's not just like a USB port underneath the car, but they actually went to this kind of effort, and I really appreciate that. The iPhone app had to be searched on the App Store under My Smart RC Car, and that is M-I, not M-Y. Once you have the app, it is going to walk you through a bit of an interface, which is actually quite good. Basically, you have a left joystick and a right joystick. The left one would control the throttle, and the right the steering, like a standard two-stick radio would. The auxiliary brake and speed control are very neat because they will actually perform different functions on the truck. We go ahead and connect via Bluetooth. Make sure that your Bluetooth is enabled for devices, and then select the Jimny on the screen. At this point here, you can very easily start messing with the controls and see how the truck behaves. Under the settings, you can adjust the steering trim and rate. And the steering rate is quite useful because initially out of the box, mine had a reasonable steering angle, but the steering rate increased it dramatically. So another option for steering, which I really like, click on this button here. Notice that this thumb pad turns into the arrows, and on the right side, it's actually grayed out. Now I'm showing you on the iPad, but it works better on the phone. So you can actually just turn it to steer, and turning it a little bit will give you the proportional controls. And I really like it, to be honest. I like it more than the other way to do it. So that's nice. That's pretty well done. The first thing I want to do with this truck is try and see if it'll go over my little Duplo bridge. The thing is, I've tried this before and it doesn't go well. I will explain why here. So let's try to make it go up. And the first problem is it's kind of hard to modulate the throttle in a very, very... There it goes. Oh. I do think that it'll get up there, but if I just barrel up, it's not really what this truck, at least in my mind, is supposed to do. You'd want it to kind of crawl up the hill, but it doesn't really have the power to do that. Come on, buddy. Come on, you can do it. Oh my God, oh my gosh, it did it. It did it, kind of. Come on, you've gone this far. Oh. So close. Okay, all right. If we replace that wall with some sloped plates, then it will very happily climb up this. And there it is. So let's go ahead and take this for a little drive around the room here. And this by no means is its top speed. I'm just trying to modulate it as best I can. Let's go over this rug. I don't know what the heck that rug is. I don't know if my wife killed a sheep one day, but kind of a weird little thing. I will say the controls take getting used to because again, well, I'm on the iPad right now, but we are talking about something with no feedback, so it's weird to handle. The thing is, it does have proportional controls, and they are more than adequate. Let's try and kind of get our way through this little area here. What is pretty neat about this is I can come up here and set the steering trim, steering rate. For some reason, there's steering and throttle reverse. I don't know why they're there, but they are. This is kind of cool right here. Well, not that, this. It's showing my car specs, what the speed, acceleration, all that stuff is. I don't know exactly why this is here. I mean, I appreciate it, but perhaps there's going to be other iterations of this vehicle. Tail lights look different on this one. The overall interface is actually quite nice. Here we've got a speed limit. I think this limits it to 70%. Here is a drag brake, or they call it auxiliary brake. Let's disable it. So with it disabled, oh, I see. It kind of rolls to a stop. And with it enabled, it just stops. Oh, that's interesting. I think the truck is more than acceptable to drive indoors. I mean, that's top speed right there. I think that its top speed is more than keeping in line with the controls. For me, the phone or tablet controls are the biggest problem. But I would say that this truck is actually so fun to drive, I wouldn't mind getting used to him. I've been driving this about 15 minutes, and weirdly, well, I don't want to say weirdly, it has seemed to have lost its get up and go. I think all those attempts at going over the bridge kind of wore it out. I mean, it's still behaving fine, but you can see here, if I try and go up, it just loses power. It won't go nearly as high as it did before. Now, I drove this car quite a lot for the video, but in the last week or so since the video, the car's never made it back into the studio up until right now because I just keep grabbing it off the shelf and taking it for a spin. And that's kind of a testament to how fun the car is. Let's open this up because I'm just curious what is in it and how it works. Not that I'll be able to make sense of some of the electronics. So I pulled out these 4 screws. There's 2 right here. These are 2mm hexes. The outer ones were 1.3. The spare tire has to be removed, but this cap is in the way. So you grab it and turn it, and it comes right off. So to put it back on, you would just push it back in and give it a twist. This is probably saying don't go in there. I'm just gonna ignore that. Got another 2mm right here. And then down here, we have 2 more of the 1.3s. No, really? 1.5? Yeah, 1.5. So they've chosen 3 different types of hardware to assemble this body. Now, maybe? Yeah, okay, now everything is off. Okay. That's a little retainer for an LED that currently does not exist. What is that? I think you know what we have to do. Tiny little motor, little gear reduction transfer case. Here is the, look how nicely that battery box is made. 500 milliamp. It doesn't say what it is, and I really don't want to open it up. This chassis is really nice. I like it. I really like how clean this is. I just want to note one thing here. The motor wire, the battery wires, go through this little case here. You see those 2 screws? That isn't the frame rail. That is an extension that the wires run through. This is a very neat, clean, and tidy setup here. Servo, standard 3-wire servo. Charge, that's the charge circuit, motor, battery, and LED. What is this? Oh, that's the button. This is an exceptionally clean setup, but let's put some lights on it. Let's see what our voltage is here. Car is on. So it's 2.76. That is a tad low for a white LED. White LEDs are usually about 3.3s, but that should be enough voltage to get them lit up. On a diode, the short leg is the negative one, so let's try and just kind of plop her in there, touch off on both of the leads, and it's lit up. It's not much, but it's lit up. I've got this connector that I've pulled out of my parts bin. 2 3mm white LEDs. These are actually warm white, and a bit of red and black wire. So this is the wiring harness I came up with. Nothing too extraordinary. I did have to change the polarity on the plug. It was reversed for some reason. And then we do have these 2 lights. You know, I wouldn't call them particularly bright. Again, the voltage should be around 3 to 3.3 volts, and this is only 2.7, 2.8. And you can probably get a more appropriate light kit for this, but I had these, so let's go ahead and put them in the body. So the LEDs are in. So we have our headlights installed, and I was just looking at this thing. This body's got a lot of detail. So let's peel off the protective cover on all the windows, which is a very nice, thoughtful thing that they did. With those out of the way, we'll grab our extra small Indian ink pen, and we will just run it down the door jambs. And look at that. That is everything jammed. Looking at the photographs, the rear spray, I don't know if this is a rear sprayer for the window or a camera, but this is black. The door lock cylinders are silver. All of the door handles for the front and the rear are all body color on the Jimny. So let's see if we can use orange on the repeater, because the car is light enough to where orange might work. For the most part, all the colors are transparent. Ooh, that is perfect. Oh, I love it. And the last little update here is the brake light at the top. Nice. The taillights are all red except for this center. This is actually silver. The Sharpies that I have, however, are pointy. So I don't know if I'll be able to get in there. All right, so our chrome pen here does have a nice sharp tip. So I'm going to try this on camera and just follow the perimeter is what I want to do. Well, that is working okay. Technically, one side should have an orange light bulb, but on the production model, the whole thing is a chrome bucket with a orange bulb on one side and clear for the reverse. I think this is going to be good enough. I'll do that one next. That, I think, wraps up this video. If you are looking for a small crawler or trail truck, this isn't your guy. There's plenty out there that are available. In fact, this one right here, which we'll talk about later from Panda RC, is in a class all of its own. The thing is,
this truck's kind of expensive. This is $90, whereas that is only 40 bucks more. What I like about this that I don't about that, and this is major, is that this is really not upgradable. Well, that kind of sounds like a negative, right? Well, if you're like me, you see on the box that you can get all these parts for, well, this Panda RC car here, but just in general, a lot of upgraded parts available. You kind of think to yourself, I need it. I have to have it. And then your $130 RC car ends up costing you $300. Whereas this one here is 90 bucks and that's it. That's all it is. I was surprised at how much I drove this vehicle. Like I said, the fact that it didn't really need to have a remote and I would just kind of grab it from sitting on the end table or sitting on the bookcase and just start driving around was something that I had not expected. I would by no means consider this a vehicle that could be a crawler. I think the misconception here comes with the fact that it does have four-wheel drive and it does have, you know, a reasonable suspension. But again, you're talking about what? That's probably close to 12 to 15 millimeters of articulation. That's not much. So if you're looking for something like a crawler, this is not your guy. If you're looking for something to put on your desk at the office and have people assume that this is a static model, this may be a good choice. Again, it was a lot of fun. I was more surprised than I have been with a lot of RC cars, and comparing it to most other ones out there that are cell phone controlled or tablet controlled, this is by far the best one I've ever used. So folks, I hope you found this video interesting, and I hope that our little upgrades here, you know, are just little tidbits of detail that you can add to what is otherwise a fairly nice little toy. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.